Welcome to African Spiritual Resistance, where we explore African spirituality, its history,
and is used in our liberation through the African diaspora today
yesterday, today,
and
and
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Ashe.
All right. We're about to get into it. This is episode 8 for us. We're jumping back into the spiritual, to the reading of the year for 2023. This is part 2.
Yes, so the reading of the year, part two is regarding protection. Ifa says we should be closer to Ifa for protection. And the sacrifice that is needed is 2 rats, 2 fish, 2 hens, cola nuts, palm oil, cornmeal, a goat, and money. After the sacrifice, Ifa will be appeased with the goat. On this, Ifa says, Erosun Sara Gagaga, Adifafun Dopemu, Tiso Mobibi Inu Agboniregun, Lojo Tienbe, Lare Ota, Ebo Woniko Wase, Ose Bebo Nibe Orubo, Ope Modi Omu, Ki O Mayimi Mu, Iyere Aragi, Ki Won Danu, Erosun Sara Gagaga cast divination for Dopemu, who was the child of Agboniregun. When he was amidst of his enemies, he was told to make sacrifice. He complied. Ope, I hold on to you. Do not reject me. The yere on the tree is never rejected. So, if you're interested in doing any spiritual work regarding protection, this is one of those. We need to hold on to Ifa for our protection, um, and never to reject Ifa for the reading of the year.
Ifa has promised us protection. Ifa says there are evil forces here and there, but Ifa will protect us. For protection against all evil forces, Ifa says we should make sacrifice with 3 unripe plantains, 3 cocks, 3 big rats, palm oil, 3 solid paps, and money. On this, Ifa says,
Wait, go.
Arosun Sa'aoro, Afairosun Sa'aoro, Ewiri, Se Wuye Wuye, Arabikankan, Adipapun Oromila, Lojo Tiku, Baile, Lojo Tiarun, Baodo, Tibogbo Ajagun, Ibi Ba Oko, Kini Ogba Milowo Ibi, Ogede Agbaba, Ohun ni Oba Milowo Ibi. The translation of that is Arosun Sa Aoro, Afai Rosun Sa Aoro, Ewiri, Say Wuye Wuye Farah B Kankan cast divination for Oromila when death was chasing him, when disease was chasing him, when all bad forces were chasing him. What will rescue me from all evil forces? Ogedi Agbaba will rescue me from evil forces. Now, let's be clear. This is talking about protecting you against things you can't protect yourself against. Not fully. So, death, disease, all the bad forces, right? So, it's the things you can't protect yourself against, not the things you won't protect yourself against. So, if Joe across the street and you get into an argument that devolves into Joe choking you with one hand and slapping you with the other, you better defend yourself or haul ass to do something.
Absolutely. On victory. So let's look at victory. Ifa says there will be victory over our enemies. The leaders of the conspirators will die, and others will desist from the bad acts. Elbow is needed, and after this sacrifice, Ifa says that an akoshe needs to be made, and it will be made with orupa tree. On this, Ifa says, and akoshe is like a medicine that is needed that should be tagged along, a soap or powder or something that need to be burned to help to assist a client. Because sometimes what happens is when sacrifice is done, it may take 3 months, it may take 6 months, it may take 1 month for some of the things to manifest. So by using a powder that you will lick, or incisions, or by using some type of soap or anything like that, that will help to make what you're trying to do to happen faster. So if I says that this need to be made, and it need to be used with a certain tree called orupa tree, and if I says awa wan lojo ni sawa nikba egba okun, awa wan lojo and sawo nikba egba agbon, owa tubushe gada wọn làwo òní bọwàṣẹbọ adífá fún yàrẹpẹ tí ń sọmọ lóró níjù lọ́jọ́ tí ń bẹ lẹ́rìn òsìrì lọ́jọ́ tí ń bẹ nírọ̀gùn ọ̀tá yẹyẹ lọ́rùn mi báyìí o orúpa ọkọ ọba pàkún fún mi níbẹ̀ àrípẹ̀dẹ ọmọ lóró níjù bá Bobaku Somode Aku Salagba Lagba. And the translation, we have been doing these things together for 40,000 years. We have been doing things together for 60,000 years. At a point, they decided to stay away from us. He filed revelations to Yerepe, an offspring of the wealth being from the forest, when it was a midst of his conspirators. When it was amidst his enemies, I am surrounded by a lot of my enemies. Orupo tree from the farm, you should kill one of them for me. Here is Yerepe, an offspring of the wealthy being from the forest. As it stings the young ones, so it stings the elderly ones. So if I is saying that during this time, if you or whomever is watching this, or your friends or family, you all may be surrounded by enemies. If you know that this is something that affects you, then this should definitely be something that you should do. It's like you have a lot of enemies that are surrounding you, and you need to make sacrifice or use a medicine that would cause you to have victory over your enemies. And even according to this, Ifa says the enemy will die, and Ifa death is looked at as a physical death where you land in a casket, as well as spiritual death, where you know all that wealth, that though that success and prosperity that one may have could leave the person. So that's also a form of death.
All right. Hiroshi no Sa says Shango should be appeased. Shango is an Orisha. He's the Orisha of thunder, uh, the kingly Orisha, if you will. Very popular Orisha. Between him and Ogun, they're known as the two most popular um, Orisha out there. A lot of people speak about being Shango or Ogun, they don't know nothing else about Ifa. So those two are very popular. Hiroshi no Sa says Shango should be appeased with a ram to overcome enemies. On this, Ifa says, Olosun Saragaga, Adipapon Shango, Olukosa, Lalu, Arabambi, Arigba, Ota Shegun, Nijo Tinbe, Larin Ota, Ebo ni won ni Koshe, Obegbo Nibe Orubo, Kini Oba Mishegun Otami, Agbo Girisa, Ni Oba Mishegun Otami. In the translation, that is Olosun Saragaga cast Ifa for Shango, Olukosa, Arabambi, one with 200 stones, when he was amidst enemies. So just so you know, it says cast Ifa, the divine for Shango, who's known as Olukosa, and the king
Oluko.
hang, and Arabambi, one with 200 stones. Those are nicknames for him, if you will, names of uh, propitiation. Okay. When he was amidst enemies, he was advised to make Ebal sacrifice. He made the sacrifice. What will overpower my enemies for me? A strong ram. It is a strong ram that will help me overcome my enemies. So the sacrifice is a ram, and also Shango is represented by or signified by the ram. Okay, so it's letting you know a strong ram. It's also for you to be uh, to have victory. If you want to be victorious, if you want to be the strong ram, do this elbow. Okay, it's a strong ram that, and also that will help me overcome my enemies. Once again, you can't just sit around, do the elbow, and you just sit on your ass, or you walk up to the enemy, smack him in the mouth, and think you ain't gonna get no consequences. You do the work, and then you move wisely with measured steps. And be strong about what you're doing. Be the strong ram. Okay.
I see. So war. And finally, we will look at the reading of the year regarding war. There is sacrifice that is needed to avert war in this year. Ifa says we will not be consumed by war. All the battles will be over for this year, and there will be peace. So enjoy it while it lasts, but stay aware and ready. Sacrifice is needed uh, there to have normalcy to return to our land. And on this, Ifa says, Erosun so ajebi adifa fun oluboro omo atidi sowo eje. Iba tí ń bẹ lágbà tẹ̀mọ́ ogún aráyé. Wọ́n ní wọ́n ní orúbọ kó lè bá jagun ṣẹ́gun. Òbẹ́bọ níbẹ̀ orúbọ. Ogun tẹ̀dẹ̀ lálẹ́. Àná ta nǹkan ṣe. Ìrọ̀rùn ló máa dá. Ogun èsì lọ. Ìdúnnìdé ti dẹ̀yìn bọ̀. Ara ríro tí wàá dirẹ̀. Erosun farted. The powerful woman ran away from the stench. Cast Ifa for Oluburo, a woman who was still ministrating. When she was facing battles, she was advised to make sacrifice. She made prescribed sacrifice. The war that broke out yesterday, and that we were ready for ammunition to face. Things have returned to normalcy. The war has ended. Happiness has returned. The agony has given way to joy. The war here can be a domestic violence situation, police brutality. It could be disagreements between genders, age, group, religion, or just plain old outright war. So, according to this Odu, Ifa talks about, being ready, being happy for now. So you always should still be prepared for our future. But Ifa is going to give us victory as it relates to this war. So if you are facing any wars, which we as Black people are always facing war. So I think it will be good for everybody to make this sacrifice, either as an individual or as a group, so that we can all have victory and our life can return to normalcy.
Now, notice in there, Erosum farted, and the powerful women ran away from the stench. So they ain't stick around and try to fight them because they powerful, or whatever. They got away from uh, that unpleasant environment.
Hmm.
So, remove yourself from unpleasant environments as much as you can too. Not stand around the powerful women. They ran away. They got away from the stench. Right.
And if I also was referring to younger people, because if I talks about the women who are ministrating, which are
and
young people.
and Cassie Fafa Oloboro, a woman who was still menstruating.
Menstruating, yes.
So it's a example for her too of what to
Hmm.
do.
Right.
When she was facing battle, she was advised to make sacrifice. She made a sacrifice. The war that broke out yesterday, that we were ready with ammunitions to face.
Yes.
Ammunitions is, firearms, things of that nature. Things have returned to normalcy. The war has ended. Happiness has returned. But of course, we discussed that before. That war is a force of nature that will come back. So get away from the unpleasantries. Enjoy your time now when that peace does come to you.
Exactly. Stay ready.
But stay ready.
Hmm.
Yeah. Next week we'll finish our examination of the reading of the year with the topics of childbearing, Orisha worship, marital issues, gender
Gender
issues,
issues.
and authority of leaders. So we'll be dealing with those: childbearing, Orisha worship, marital issues, gender issues, and authority of leaders. Let me see if greetings, Eugene, Corey, everybody else out there. Uh, Corey said, I saw Sakpata Babaluaye. Some people say Shakpana. Watch over me in a dream as a child. I believe I come from people uh, divinated with who I belong. I come from people who belong to Champana. We normally don't use that name too much, but that is Babaluaye. Um,
And that Orisha, Obaluaye is the Orisha that deals with sickness and disease. So if you're a healer, or you've seen him in your dream, if you're a healer, or
we
maybe he
went
was
through
watching
that.
you for your protection against sickness. So that's definitely something to look into.
Yeah. Um, Peace, Jadoria. Jadoria, I need honor and respect. Peace.
Peace.
So, any other questions? We can, we finished that in 17 minutes.
Yeah, that was quite quick.
I know. Wow. We probably could have finished the whole reading of the year if we had known. The flow got thrown off because, of course, that we got a strike. BPM got a strike uh,
So that's
from
why we wasn't here last week.
YouTube. Yeah, right. We weren't here last week because of that, right? Um, and we weren't warrior class. Several weren't there because of the strike that happened. Um, and although everything still plays on YouTube and we would like you all to go over and join Twitch and join the Patreon so we can keep up with you all. If this happens again. Uh, that's the best thing, right? Um, on Facebook. What is that? On Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, but those numbers honestly don't compare to the numbers that I got through YouTube. People trust certain things. A comrade of mine was selling his books on his website. And he said, you can buy them directly from me. Cut out the other folks, Amazon, smash words. Cut them out. You order directly from me. And his website has been up for probably 5 years. And he said he sold two books on his site. And he sells thousands through Amazon. That's just how people are. We want to try to cut out the middleman, but if you want to get anything, you'll work out. right? It's difficult to fight against brand recognition. That just shows the power of capitalism, man. Unfortunately, uh, but pretty good numbers were coming in for the shows that were on Facebook. Remix Money's show was still on Facebook and everything. They had good numbers, like you know, 246. So they had good numbers, but not YouTube numbers. Warrior Class has gotten over 1,000 views on some of the episodes. Right? There's no way we're going to get 1,000 on YouTube or even here. African Spiritual Resistance, our first one, I think we got 800 views, something like that. It, uh, we wouldn't get that on Twitter or something like that, right? It's just the way it is. Uh, it'd be good to have our own platform, but we would have a lot of work to do to get enough views to justify having our own platform. Okay. Um, let's see. Shanae Clay says, "Greeting everyone. Greetings, Shanae. This is my first time here. With the host and hostess, please need some background of you guys. Give you some background, okay? And essentially what this channel is about. Lastly, where else can I find you guys? Okay, this is African Spiritual Resistance, as you know. My wife and I'm Balogun.
And I'm Iyalogun.
So we're husband and wife. We're initiates to Ifa, to Obatala,
Egbe.
Egbe, my wife Ashun. There are other things with Egbe Ogun. There are several things we initiated to. Been practicing Ifa for 24 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. For 24 years. Um, me, I'm a martial arts master. Okay. I am the founder of and the technical director of the African Martial Arts Institute. Met my wife, she began to train, and that's where we met, um, at my school. Had no idea we would end up being husband and wife, but that's where we met. Um, we've been married for 22 years, 21 years, right? We have, I have 9 children, and so my wife has
3 of the 9.
3 of the 9 plus, the 6 stepchildren, right? But and so our three, Ade, our son, who's 20, Oriemi, our daughter, who's 14, and Okikiola, our daughter, who's 6 months. Okay. Um, we have businesses. My wife has Multicultural Botanica, which is Botanica here in Atlanta. I have the African Martial Arts Institute, and I'm the author of 42 books. That's through Roaring Lions Productions, and other people produce some of my books. I may have published some of my books. And that's pretty much it. This channel is African Spiritual Resistance, where we're exploring African spirituality. We're exploring the difference between spirituality and religion, and we're looking at uh, different African spiritual systems and their use in our liberation struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. You got anything else to add to that? Yeah.
We're here to really, to help the community to represent the traditional African community. Give information, give our knowledge, and to give understanding so that people can understand the tradition. Because a lot of people know about Ifa and other religion, but don't really understand it.
And lastly, where else can I find you guys? You can find me on Warrior Class. every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Uh, it's me, Ominiki Bile. We're the hosts of Warrior Class, where we teach survival and self defense, um, practical survival and self defense. Uh, I also have the Africans Playing RPGs platform where I have I've been playing role playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that for 40 years. And a few years ago, me and comrade Milton Davis, another author, decided to create a fantasy role playing game that catered to us, and that was based on the African continent. And so we created Kikanga, and then from there I created other role playing games. Um, Sticking to the Man, the Ice Cold RPG. You can find me, Balogun Ojetade. You can find all my stuff on Instagram and elsewhere.
Yeah, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram. When I'm not doing that, I have my shop in Riverdale, Georgia. So please come by and support.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's us. And that's for you, Shanae, and everybody else, in case you're curious. Uh, you know, stop by, say hello, support. Let us support you. Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
All right. Well,
Yeah.
peace.
So yeah, we're gonna close out. I'm trying to just push it to 30
Six.
minutes at least, 60 at least. Like wow.
Yeah, I figured it was gonna be a short one, but next week I'm sure it'll be longer.
Yeah. And that's on me because the timing, my timing was off when I thought it would be uh, much longer. Um, but if you have any questions on today or previous episodes, you're welcome to ask your questions. Soon we want to have uh, an Ogun priest on and different
Other
special.
yeah, other Efi priests and other Oshun priestess.
Right.
Also, I have a festival that's coming up in September 9th, 2023. Oshun Egbe Festival. So we'll probably talk about those Orishas, prior to my festival coming up. So you all, if you all interested in coming to Atlanta, checking out the festival, well, you'll have more information about Oshun and you'll have more information about Egbe.
And it's going to be a great festival. Oshun festivals are always really nice, fun festivals.
And you're definitely welcome, Shanae. She says, thank you both for sharing wonderful information. I love that you guys are for the advance of our people. I'm a baby to the African spiritual community, so I'm very interested in learning. Yeah. And we're very interested in teaching. So, you know, you can
And
always go back.
we babies too. There are people been in E5 for 100 years, and
Yeah,
I'm not exaggerating. so,
that's
so
the
hey,
truth.
but we definitely interested in teaching what we have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely after they got people 120 years old. So we can definitely learn from that.
And that's no exaggeration, y'all. They're walking around,
Yes, walking around, not barely walking, not
right?
barely
Not in
talking,
the around, they're walking around.
with all their teeth in their mouth.
Hey, hey, hey! I feel
Well, I
attacked.
mean, sorry about that. That means to be like that, but I'm just saying for them to be that old,
Mhm.
and I don't know if some of you all ever been to Africa, but the meat there is a bit tough compared to the meat that we eat here. So to be able to, when I first went, it was very difficult for me to chew their meat, and the teeth that they had, they would just tear and rip it open. I was just like, oh, I guess I won't be eating. I mean, it's a little different now. It's a lot better now, but whew, to be old and just rip through that, yeah.
So
So hopefully in the future, we'll get a chance to share some of our experiences while we're there in Africa. So definitely look forward to that as well. And then before the year's out.
maybe when you go this time, maybe we could shoot one of the episodes from there. You're
Yes,
there.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that'd be cool. Uh, Eugene May says, truly informative, a blessing to be here learning. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being there with us, Eugene.
Yes,
Uh,
blessings to you, Eugene, and everybody.
Definitely appreciate it. All right, you all. This was an early one. Hopefully, you got something from it, and then we'll share the final sections of the reading of the year next week. When you hear reading of the year, reading is a divination. Okay, so same thing when you hear that. All right, or dafa boom. Dafa is divination. Ifa divination. Where can I learn the basic principles of what you guys practice, and what is it called again? It's called Ifa, and you can learn uh, by contacting. Some things, people will just, academize it. You just pick up a book and you know about it now. I told a student that of mine, he didn't understand it. I said, you can read a tome, 1,000 pages thick, and you can get one divination, and you know more than the person that memorized that book that's 1,000 pages thick because it's experiential. That was told to me when I first came to Ifa. I understood it because the martial arts the same way. Years ago, friend of mine, one of my best friend, Anthony, got into a fight with this brother. They were fighting in school, elementary school. We were young, and the dude we had a book fair. He just bought a karate book, and he was messing with Anthony. So him and Anthony got into it. Anthony knocked him down. He said, "Hold on." He pulls out the karate book. He looks in the page. Do that again. Anthony hits him again. Knocks him down. Hold on. You ain't thought the same way. It was ridiculous. You can't academize certain things. Ifa is one of them. The martial arts with self-defense, effective self-defense is another, right? So the best way to learn the basic principles is to get divination or to sit with a priest and they teach you, but usually they're gonna have to get to know you to do that. So I would say the best way we get is to get divination. Um, did you want to give your email out here or?
Sure. Multiculturalbotanica@gmail.com. You can always reach me there.
And I'll type it down in these comments real quick. Uh, Multicultural. Well, that's why I'm using just one hand. I don't know. Oh, where is it? At Gmail. And we got it there. What the heck? It said multi@gmail.com. Hold on. I don't know
I
what.
don't know where you see it at. I don't even see it.
I'm putting it in the comments. You won't be able to see it.
Okay.
Multicultural. I don't know what just happened, but Tanica. There we go. Um, so it's there. It posted on YouTube and Facebook. Multiculturalbotanica@gmail.com. That is,
Yeah, you can reach me on Facebook, EI Logo on Shown, as well as Instagram.
and you can reach me if you want on Facebook at African with a K, African Martial Arts. So whatever it is, Facebook.
Yeah, we could. Don't we have African spiritual resistant email as well?
We have African Spiritual Resistance Instagram.
Okay.
Okay. So you can add African Spiritual Resistance on Instagram. I'm at Balogun underscore Ojetade on Instagram. Or African Martial Arts Institute. Whenever you see that, that's with the K. African Martial Arts Institute. African with the K. So you can reach us there, or at Warrior Class BPM. At Warrior Class BPM, also on Instagram. So those are ways you can reach me. All
All
right,
right.
y'all.
Peace and blessings.
Yes, we're about to get. They're not honking at us. That's somebody out there
Yeah, I
honking.
was trying to mute because the
My
road
wife.
is real loud.
It's cool. I heard my baby in the background screaming too.
Okay.
Um, our daughter, not screaming like crying, she gets drunk
Yeah.
in the
You're
morning.
real loud. That's our way of talking.
Right, she talks screaming at the top of her lungs. It is hilarious. So you'll probably end up hearing her do it on the show one day. So just so you know, that's what she's doing. She's screaming at the top of her lungs, excited and talking. So all right, be safe, y'all.
Take care. Blessings.
Be careful out here. Peace. You're welcome, Shanae.
Yes, you're welcome. Black power, sister.
Likewise.